Hi guys, so we're going to debunk this video by AdamSomething. How the Gravel Institute lied to you about Ukraine, published on the 25th of March of 2022. Since this video is 41 minutes long, I'm going to try to somewhat rush most of the points. I have gone through the entire video before, but I'm going to try to, like actually debunk it like somewhat quickly. So yeah. First off, yeah, it is important to note that it was made on March. Many things said here could be like yeah, easily outdated and stuff. So yeah, keep that in mind.
Video titled How America Funded Ukraine's Neo-Nazis by the channel called the Gravel Institute. And just who
That video is deleted, by the way.
are the Gravel Institute? We're building the infrastructure to beat right-wing propaganda outlets like PragerU on their own
That's
turf. With
good.
concise 5-minute videos from authoritative presenters, from Bernie Sanders to Chelsea Manning, we're pushing non-traditional audiences to the left. And to fight a behemoth like Prager, with huge ad budgets and millions of subscribers,
That is
we need
based.
join us. So that's nice. They're trying to be a leftist counterweight to PragerU,
Yeah.
a massive right-wing disinformation channel. Fighting disinformation online is especially important nowadays in light of the invasion of Ukraine. Russia has been pumping out an ungodly amount of lies and misinformation, outdoing outlets even like PragerU by an order of magnitude.
By the way, yeah, that is pretty, yeah, pretty dismissive of like the the horrible ways that the internet showcase the war. Yeah, which is to say like an absolute failure. Big has a video about it, and yeah, I'm not going to go through that, but yeah, basically the internet coverage of the Ukraine war, especially in this stage, was extremely shitty. So yeah, like by people like you, for example.
And PragerU is no small player either. They really put it all out there.
They are
pro-capitalism, anti-Palestinian,
exactly.
anti-government, aka social programs for
I'm going to make a video about them.
governors, and they also have a few things to say about black crime, the left, Antifa, and so on and so forth. But the secret to PragerU's success is not found in their political positions. In fact, if you laid them out bare, most people would see them for the lunatics that they are. The secret to PragerU's success lies in their presentation.
No, it actually lies in the fact that they are funded by all barons and yeah, like extremely wealthy businessmen. Which yeah, is the reason of like why do they have like such a massive budget just like showcase random racist shit.
Lies. Pun intended, I guess. It might not come as a surprise to most of you, but Prager University is not here to educate people, contrary to their description. They are here to push a specific set of socio-economic and political agendas, and they rarely do this through outright lies. Rather, they twist information, leave out or de-emphasize inconvenient facts, overemphasize convenient facts, mislead you with disingenuous presentation of statistics, and they use loaded, emotional language to prime you for their conclusions, among other things, all in service of furthering their agenda. And YouTubers like Sean or Vosh already did a number of excellent takeouts of their lies, which
Well, I mostly agree with like Sean. Yeah, I need to make a video about Bosch eventually, since yeah, he's also kind of shit.
you should definitely check out afterwards. Now, all this being said, PragerU doesn't have to try too hard to disseminate misinformation. This is due to their target audience, namely US conservatives, a group whose worldviews are based mostly on emotionally held positions.
Exactly, they have it easy.
Justifications for their feelings, which PragerU is happy to provide. So as a conservative, if you simply hate black people, let's say, you won't be looking at the history of systemic discrimination, the lingering effects of redlining, Jim Crow, slavery, and so on, to try and contextualize and perhaps eliminate your bias. Instead, you'll be watching Police Go Where the Crime Is by PragerU, which confirms your biases of black people being violent, criminal savages who don't work and abandon their children.
In the 75 largest U.S. counties, about 60% of robbery and murder defendants are black, even though blacks comprise only 15% of the population in those counties.
By the way, I have debunked those stats in my previous video, so go over that, please.
In New York City, blacks make up 73% of all shooting victims, though they are 23% of the city's population. In Chicago, in 2016, there were 4,300 shooting victims, almost all black. Among the 24 victims under the age of 12 was a 3-year-old shot
that
on
is
Father's
not
Day,
actually the argument that PragerU might actually want today.
Whose pancreas and spleen were ripped apart.
In short, PragerU has it rather easy, preaching to a friendly audience.
They have, because like literally the entire country supports them basically, like, yeah, quite literally they have like they can have basically a lot of the Republicans in the US as like their base.
Industrial complex, having suppressed their critical thinking skills as much as possible, so they will accept any bogus graph, half-truth, and outright falsehood as the capital T truth in service of the conservative agenda. For PragerU, it would be much more difficult to propagandize to a leftist audience, since that group is generally more aware of history and socioeconomics, by and large have better critical thinking skills, and would be more prone to calling them out on their bullshit. If we had a Stalinist PragerU, let's say, they would need to be much more subtle, using every opportunity for plausible deniability, phrasing statements and questions neutrally but in a very leading context, and so on and so forth.
Extremely suspicious, like both sides, but is yeah, let's just put it at that. Yeah, basically just both sides bad, like, yeah, just the embodiment of that.
Otherwise, their core audience would be made up of people with the following characteristics. The alpha and omega of their worldview being US bad,
Straw
fetishization
man.
of the Soviet Union and thinking it achieved communism or was progressing towards it despite reality. The
Somewhat true, but also like, yeah, extremely exaggerated.
bizarre reveres of countries that are opposed to the US, like North Korea,
True, but
Cuba,
also
Syria,
like
and so
extremely
on, just because they're opposed to the
exaggerated.
US, and branding all their opponents as fascists to justify every action against them, and then denying the actual fascist actions of the governments they support.
True, but like so extremely exaggerated also too. Also this is only like valid for if you're calling like, yeah, like this is only valid for, wait a
In
minute.
parlance, we call these people tankies. The name comes from the Soviet Union rolling tanks into countries to crack down on anti-Soviet protests.
Yeah, this only assumes that like out of these 4 points will be absolutely fake if, yeah, he wasn't actually if he was referring to them. So yeah, now only one is fake and three are extremely questionable. I, for example, mostly support the videos that they do, and I do not. I simply, yeah, I simply don't like. Yeah, do not check any of these requirements. By the way, also the alpha and omega of their worldview being the US bad is basically shorthand for they actually criticize the US. Yeah. People like you and Bosch, yeah, really need to do that eventually, like sometimes. Like, maybe just saying, like literally not supporting them at every turn. I don't know, maybe.
Might have guessed, but these people aren't leftists. They are Nazis painted red for all intents and purposes. And so,
Somewhat true, but yeah, also that is rich coming from you. That, by the way, AdamSomething has many leaked messages from him defending the N word and also R words. Also, like, yeah, but then Panada covered it, so yeah, not going to go over that. And yeah, he also has a community post defending Macron. I have basically a right wing figure which in France, like, instead of the social democratic candidate. So yeah, pretty sus.
the Gravel Institute. Let's take a look at this video of theirs. In the spirit of Sean, the video is linked in the description. Feel free to check it out to make sure I'm not misrepresenting any of their points. And just to clarify, this video came out 6 days before the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Oh shit. Also, yeah, this came out in March, by the way.
Ukraine.
You've probably heard about that country a lot.
I did.
For the last few years, Ukraine has been one of the most important conflict points in the world. It's the site of a proxy war between Russia and the United States.
Indeed.
Okay, so we're 20 seconds in and we already have a problem. Ukraine is the site of a proxy war between Russia and the United States. A proxy war is when two larger powers battle each other through smaller local forces that they control or heavily influence, all in service of their geopolitical interests. But in
Yeah.
the case of Ukraine, this is incorrect. The Ukrainian...
Okay. Yeah, I think we could give AdamSomething the benefit of the doubt and, yeah, say that this video came out before the US announced that they will give 56 billion or something like that crazy amount of dollars in aid to Ukraine, which is quite literally the largest lend lease on all of history. Like it is indeed bigger than the aid that they gave to the Soviet Union in World War II, and bigger than the aid that the French gave to the American Revolution. Quite a lot, actually.
Government is supported by the US and other Western nations, but they are by no means proxies of the US. They are a democratic government that came under attack by actual Russian proxies and the Russian army itself, at which point they asked for help and they got it.
Yeah, but Vietnam, for example, also is was just a random communist government. Was like communist in theory, not in practice, honestly. Like what a shithole of a country is that now? But that is not the point. They were independent from the Soviet Union and China, and they decided to go attack South Vietnam, and the US to go on to invade them. And China and the Soviet Union gave them weapons, and most people will consider that a proxy war. So why not Ukraine? Like just replace China and the USSR for the United States. Um, yeah. Um, and also like the US for basically Russia and North Vietnam for Ukraine, and you basically got the same situation. So I don't know what is your logic, Adam. Like, please explain.
Because Ukraine defending itself against Russian imperialism coincides with Western interests of not having Russian imperialism doesn't make this conflict a proxy war. So, right?
Sort of, but I said also already that the US, like right after this video came out, like gave billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine in aid, like in weapons and all sort of shit. So your point age, like fine wine at best.
The bad is a serious misrepresentation by the Rebel Institute. Imagine if Czechoslovakia resisted the Nazis as the latter annexed the Sudetenland and they got military equipment and training from the UK or something. Would that make it a proxy war between Germany and the UK?
You could, especially if like the UK gave them $56 billion. That will definitely make it a proxy war. Like more so if it was. I don't know why. Like why does Adam something like argue it wasn't? Oh, that's right, because he basically doesn't care and just like and isn't content with like the US only giving weapons to Ukraine. They also like want like basically he wants to also nuke Russia. Basically, he has many posts in the community that are like defending like sending nukes to Russia and all sort of crazy stuff.
Of course, that would be ridiculous. It would be a great opportunity for Nazi propaganda to try and discredit Czechoslovakia and justify the invasion, saying how Czechs are just pawns of the English and how their resistance is bringing war to Europe for no good reason. If the
That is a straw man.
Czechs just stop fighting us, there would be peace. We had a vote in the Sudeten, and people do want to join us, so it's all good, right?
Russia could launch an attack on Ukraine any day now.
We are ready, and all of NATO is ready.
But it's also a place most people don't really know a lot about. So the story we hear about Ukraine's history and its conflict today has very little relationship to reality. I'm going to tell you a story about modern Ukraine, but this is also a story about America and how American money and weapons ended up in the hands of these guys, the neo-Nazis and ultranationalists of Ukraine's far right.
Wait, did you catch that? They just moved the goalposts. How America funded Ukraine's neo-Nazis versus how American money and weapons ended up in the hands of these guys.
These guys, far right nationalists and neo-Nazis, why the fuck did you did you not include that? Like I could also like start taking a bunch of quotes by AdamSomething out of context, and specifically like cutting off like any sort of anything that puts the thing in the context, and like present it as truth and yes an actual own. But I am not that dumb, and I going to go through all of this.
Two statements have very different implications. The first implies a deliberate effort from the US to arm Ukrainian Nazis, while the second suggests that arming neo-Nazis wasn't the intention, only an unfortunate side effect. And
The second and the first also can imply the second both of those things don't contradict each other. Yeah, I don't know.
Rhetorical tricks like these should be familiar to anyone who has ever watched Prager University.
Think about the even greater number of Palestinians who are now homeless in Gaza because Hamas choose to hide weapons in residential buildings. And when naive American and European NGOs offer millions to rebuild Gaza, who do you think will get that money? It won't be you. The people who really deserve it and need it. It will be the leaders of the Hamas gang and their friends who will add new rooms to their fancy villas.
Again, apples and oranges fallacy.
Rather than rebuild homes, purchase coronavirus vaccines, or provide social services for their people.
Shut up,
And the peace you
Prager.
so deserve, the peace which could have been possible when Israel withdrew entirely from the Gaza Strip in 2005, will be even further out of reach.
Well, it looks like all that aid we're sending to Palestinians is ending up in the hands of extremists. Therefore, we should stop giving money and aid to Palestinians and just let Israel invade the Gaza Strip in a special military operation where they de-Islamisticize the area in order to finally bring peace to the Middle East. One could say. Though for some,
Yeah, Sturman again, and I said that yeah, it is simply not the same. Like that, yeah. There are many things which are wrong in that. Oh shit. Okay, going to remember to like cut that off.
reason I highly doubt Rebel Institute would agree with stopping aid to Palestinians. And funny how that works.
Let's start in 1991, when Ukraine became
Again,
fully
another
independent from the Soviet
Sturman.
Union. And independence was tough.
It was.
After the fall of communism, the economies of post-Soviet republics were falling apart.
Minor point here, but while in common parlance we do refer to the end of the Soviet Union as the fall of communism, that is incorrect. The Soviet Union was a state-capitalist oligarchy at best and never even came close to abolishing the state, currency, or social classes. As in,
It was. That is somewhat true, but also I think it's yeah. DJI is probably just using like American language. Since most of the audience is from America, or it's like their target audience, and so they use that point. Like yeah, then they can add nuance like later. I guess that is probably what TGI wanted to do.
communism. I expect a channel
I
fancying itself as
suppose.
leftist to be more precise with its leftist terms.
Channel defense as he says as leftist. Yeah. Quote by AdamSomething. The joke
The
tell
institution being
themselves.
So in the 1990s, Ukraine's economy and quality of life collapsed, and it's never really gotten better. Adjusted for inflation, Ukraine's GDP per capita was higher in 1990 than it was in 2020. Health outcomes are abysmal. In 2019, the life expectancy of Ukrainian men was lower than in Syria, Iraq, and North Korea.
First off, I'm glad Rebel Institute has such unwavering trust in demographic data provided by the Syrian and North Korean governments. Very noble. Second,
Yes. And also like I could say that for like quite literally every country ever.
according to the World Bank data they cite, male life expectancy in Ukraine is currently at an all-time high, even with an ongoing war inside the country.
That is because that graph is not updated, especially like not in March of 2022. It will probably take until 23 to see the changes in which it will absolutely grasp the life expectancy by then. So the graph is quite outdated, honestly. Since it doesn't account yet for the war.
Men tend to die, so by their metric, male life expectancy should be a relative success story, not
Too
so
quick
abysmal
to
as
the
they put it, with a
facts.
strange inconsistency in their rhetoric. Third, the choice of countries on the graph. You might think in comparison.
The choice of countries in the graph is probably because most people in America like believe that those countries are bad and terrible. Like yes, I said the target audience of TGI is from America, so like they specifically chose those countries that are known for being like quite shitty by Americans. Just to like prove the point.
With Poland, Russia, or Hungary, or countries would be more informative since they are similar in terms of demographics, geopolitics, history, and so on. Why bring up these random countries from different corners of the world? Why not Eastern European?
As I said, because yeah, they're mostly believed, like commonly shared, that they are bad and also horrible, which is somewhat true in many cases, like in many ways. But yeah, as I said, that is why they chose that.
Countries? Well, because if you put those on the graph, you get this. Countries that used to be in the Soviet sphere of influence but broke away very early and fully integrated into the West have much higher life expectancies than Ukraine or even Russia. And then some.
This gives me like some extreme vibes to those life expectancy was higher under capitalism, like sort of shit. Yeah. Um, that sounds extremely similar to this, like even worse.
Political person might come along and point out how being aligned with the decaying Russian Empire produces significantly worse outcomes than being aligned with the West. Such nuance, of course, did not make it into the Institute's video.
Again, like as I said, just like extremely similar to like capitalist propaganda right there. Yeah. This is because basically AdamSomething is a neoliberal, and sadly he cannot complain about socialism openly, since it will be far too obvious that he's not a leftist then. So he basically just goes all in on tankies. By the way, it would be quite cool if you didn't use the word as a slur. Yeah, I support using that word, like at least I'm okay with it, but don't treat it as a slur, please.
Incidentally, theirs would be the type of rhetoric you would use if you wanted to imply that aligning with the West doesn't make things better for the people. Also, look at these other countries that aren't aligned with the West that are doing better. Right. In the next section,
Again, like just random, like basically masked off, like capitalist propaganda, basically.
Institute describes the roots of Ukrainian neo-Nazism like so.
And as quality of life collapsed, nationalism flourished. Some people turned to extremist politics.
Indeed,
That was
that's every
partly because
country
Ukrainian
ever.
nationalism, formed in opposition to the Soviet Union, tended to have a strongly right-wing flavor.
Exactly.
To understand that, we have to look at a crucial figure in Ukrainian nationalist history, a guy named Stepan Bandera.
Yeah.
You see, in the 1930s and 40s, Bandera wanted Ukrainian independence from Poland and the Soviet Union. So when the Nazis invaded, Bandera allied with them. His followers massacred huge
Yeah, he
numbers
was
of
a
Poles and Jews.
Nazi.
But in spite of this legacy, Bandera is still viewed as a hero in the west of Ukraine.
Yeah.
In spite of this legacy, Bandera is still viewed as a hero in the west of Ukraine. There are Stepan Bandera streets, museums, and monuments. In 2010, Bandera was even named an official hero of Ukraine.
So in their world, this Bandera guy did ethnic cleansing while collaborating with the Nazis as he sought Ukrainian independence, and he is
In their
revered to this day
world.
mostly in the west of the country, which is a rather far-right region. What Kremlin Institute conveniently omitted is that the biggest resurgence of pro-Bandera sentiment happened after Russia invaded Ukraine.
So I guess I will assume that something has a source about that, right? Yeah, that is extremely fake stuff, but I'm okay. Yeah, they have no sources for that. Like, there is nothing that may support his claim. Like like legit, I was like laughing my ass off, or at least I will try to laugh my ass off. If I wasn't so sick. But yeah, basically he just like pulled that out of his ass, basically.
Where the far-right had a presence even before, and was also out to protest during the Maidan, obviously, but the real push for decommunization and the re-establishment of a Ukrainian national identity came after Crimea was stolen,
No
and when the Ukrainian
sources.
army was already fighting a war in the east
No
against both Russian
sources.
proxies and actual Russian soldiers. To go back to examples from the east, why do you think groups like ISIS, the Taliban, or Al-Qaeda gained such prominence? Because a larger imperialist power invaded their lands, which gave
That was far after like they became popular. They became popular since the US funded them in the 80s to go against the Soviets. Yeah, like, and Ukraine sadly did not have that. That is the reason of why AdamSomething also admitted that. Yeah, I, I'm just going to say that. Just going to yeah, just going to say that basically. Um, he conveniently also skipped that.
Their support and help them rise to prominence. This is extremism 101, which I'm sure Rebel Institute would agree with. Why then do they not extend this very simple concept to Ukraine? Because then it will be much harder to fearmonger about Ukrainian Nazis in service of the underlying goal.
Because it's harder. Movements don't pop up from the ground. Yeah, it is slightly harder than just like the word that you're trying to portray. Maybe it's just that. I don't know, dude.
Just to pander to an audience that only wants to hear America bad. Oh, sorry, I got ahead of myself there. Moving on.
But Bandera is hated in the East, where Soviet identity was historically a lot stronger. And that East-West divide was a big fracture within Ukraine. In Western Ukraine, there was more stress on a specifically Ukrainian identity, closer to Europe. In Eastern Ukraine, meanwhile, people were more likely to stress their historic ties to Russia and the Russian language. Fast forward to 2010, when Ukraine elected a relatively pro-Russian politician named Viktor Yanukovych as its president, with strong support from voters in the East. Yanukovych pursued a regionalist and Russia-friendly agenda, which angered people in the West.
So the East-West divide in Ukraine, the West is more pro-European, while the East is more pro-Russian, and the latter helped elect Viktor Yanukovych. None of this is false on the surface. However, calling Viktor Yanukovych a relatively pro-Russian politician is a way to de-emphasize Yanukovych's staunchly pro-Russian politics. And I noticed how
yeah, he's relatively pro-Russian. Yeah. What did you mean? Yeah, they are. I mean, yeah, like.
Institute leaves out the inconvenient fact that Yanukovych imprisoned his pro-Western opponent, Yulia Tymoshenko, right after he got elected in 2010.
That has nothing to do with being pro-Russian. That is just being authoritarian, dude. You're mixing up oil and water, like you're basically just spouting a bunch of random bullshit. That is simply not how it works. That is simply not what the definition of like what being pro-Russian is. I don't know, man.
So that he stole the election in 2004 when Ukrainians needed the Orange Revolution to force a rerun, which Yanukovych then lost. And these instances of twisting information using loaded language and disingenuous presentation only get more numerous as the video goes on, like this part right here.
Oh.
Using loaded language and disingenuous presentation only get more numerous as the video goes on, like this part right here. And in 2013, Yanukovych announced that he was suspending discussions on Ukrainian integration with Europe.
He did.
That decision sparked a protest movement centered in Kyiv called Euromaidan, after the Maidan Square, where it took place.
In Kiev, thousands of Ukrainians continue to protest against the government's decision to hold off on signing a deal with the EU.
And I want you to consider this. Hundreds of thousands of people out on the streets, tens of thousands of flags and signs, and the three they show us are all Bandera related, with his
yeah, maybe because they are popular in that protest. I don't know, man.
And the red and black flag. This was a conscious choice.
I don't know, man. Maybe that those flags and that imagery is common there. There's no way any evidence against me can be absolutely any sort of like correct. It is absolutely all cherry picked. Yeah. You have no sources, and if you have, they are cherry picked. Obviously. Yeah, dude. That is basic also sarcasm. It's like you don't know anything. You should live under a rock. Yeah, that's basically what he's basically saying, like, but exaggerated.
You have easily found footage of protesters from a massive crowd like this without Bandera-related items, but instead they went out of their way to find footage that specifically contains far-right adjacent imagery, and they...
yeah. Maybe they are just like common, dude, as I said.
Did this to lay some groundwork for the next section,
Maybe.
Which is what I would call a mask-off movement. Let's give it a watch.
In the West, Euromaidan was seen as a peaceful, pro-democracy movement.
It
most participants
was.
really were ordinary people who were angry at the government.
They
As
were.
the protests grew, encouraged by a harsh repression from the police and a brutal sniper attack that killed dozens of protesters and police alike,
Yeah.
a new, more sinister element emerged and began to hijack the movement. The ultranationalists came on the scene.
It was often the nationalists who were the loudest and the most violent.
They indeed came up.
Calling itself the
Like,
right sector is perhaps the largest. Its members can be seen marching around Kiev in columns of about a dozen.
Groups like the quote right sector of the ultra-nationalist Svoboda Party, originally called the Social National Party of Ukraine, try turning those words around,
Yeah.
acted as a small but influential organized minority within the protests. And those extremists played an important role in exacerbating the protests by encouraging violence and more radical rhetoric. There are allegations that the sniper attack was actually orchestrated by the right sector and its co-conspirators.
Okay, so what have we
Cool.
just listened to? Here are the main claims. So the first point about protesters being ordered.
Alright, extremely extremely convenient for AdamSomething is starts and stops of quotes. They're going to come in handy later.
People is correct. Point number 2 is a lie, however. And unfortunately for Rebel Institute, I recognized the footage they used. See, in preparation for my giant video essay about Ukraine, I saw a lot of videos about police violence during the minor protests. And I also came across the footage Rebel Institute is showing here. Or rather, the two versions of it. One shown by Western news outlets, and the other shown by Russia Today. Now, shortly after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, RT was banned from
Alright.
YouTube, but thankfully, I downloaded their video back then. It's the same footage as in Western media, with an important difference. They cut out the part where the police start running at protesters with guns and opening fire, and only show the part where protesters, some also armed, return fire at the police, who are then forced to retreat. Here's footage from Radio Svoboda in contrast, showing what actually happened, namely how it was the police charging at protesters and opening fire at them. And if we skip towards the end of the video, we arrive to the footage RT had shown, and through RT, the Rebel Institute. And I even screenshotted some indicative comments from under RT's video back then, which I ended up not using for my Ukraine video.
That can easily be disproven by the fact that that is basically just background footage. Like you're obviously not going to have the entire footage like on your 10-minute video, because it will be like a fifth of that. And yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe.
USA. They're being fired at with live ammo. What are they supposed to do? I am surprised no police officer has flipped yet and fired a full clip in a crowd. I see retreating policemen who attempt to save their motionless colleague, how was he injured, and fired in self-defense not at peaceful protesters, but an aggressive mob. They saved their lives. We can see that the peaceful protesters shooting at police and police escape. I am surprised, why have they waited so
Wow, extremely peaceful.
long? So these comments were under a video titled
Like, so indeed peaceful that, they shoot at police. I sadly cannot legally tell you to them that is a good thing, but I will definitively tell you that indeed, like I will call that a violent protest. Where is it justified is a topic for another video, but like that is not exactly what you will call peaceful.
firing live ammo in Kiev clashes. These are the opinions RT is trying to conjure up with their deceptively cut footage, which is the same thing Rebel Institute did here, as they talk about allegations that it was the far right that did the shooting, while showing you injured and retreating police officers, disingenuously cut from a video where police attacked first. The Rebel Institute is lying to you here by omission. And how about that article they show, claiming that the shooting was done not by police, but by the right sector and its
Insane. Wow. Like, yeah, rate crying from you again.
conspirators. Here it is on thenation.com.
About this article, yeah. Also about,
Illusion with Neo-Nazis, written by Stephen F. Cohen, published on the 2nd of May 2018. Here's the paragraph shown by the Rebel Institute. That the snipers who killed scores of protesters and policemen on Kiev's Maidan Square in February 2014, thereby triggering a quote-unquote democratic revolution that overthrew the elected president Viktor Yanukovych and brought to power a virulent anti-Russian pro-American regime, it was neither democratic nor a revolution, but a violent coup unfolding in the streets with high-level support, were not sent by Yanukovych, as is still widely reported, but instead, almost certainly, by the neo-fascist organization Right Sector and its co-conspirators.
Situation is that indeed for you, as I said, extremely hypocritical. But okay, let's assume that he's like, basically,
The sniper attack was almost certainly done by Ukrainian neo-fascists. Source? Trust me, bro. I'm Stephen F. Cohen.
Again, like, you have no sources, bro. Oh, and also, the comments, going to quickly check, but I'm 99% sure that he has no sources in the comments. Alright, this is the pin comment. Indeed! Yeah. Wow. Like, insane, like, absolutely lethal like piles of evidence brought by you, like uh, hypocritical.
Was, who spent the last decade doing pro-Putin apologia and was a frequent guest on Russia Today. And I did find this article about him in the New York Magazine,
Um,
titled The Pathetic Lives of Putin's American Dupes, written in 2014, around the time of Russia's annexation of Crimea. A tragically large number of left-wing Westerners in the 20th century deluded themselves about the horrors of Soviet communism. As awful and unforgivable as it was, the process by which they made themselves into dupes was at least explicable. They loved socialism, and one country in the world was implementing socialism, so they persuaded themselves, and for a while it was working. Today's Russian dupes are a smaller, more pathetic lot. Above all, they are just plain weirder because they lack a clear ideological motive for their stoogery. Soviet Russia not only commanded a vast propaganda network, but embodied a doctrine with international appeal, and which originated outside of Russia. Vladimir Putin's Russia follows no model except Russian nationalism. To the extent it employs a non-nationalist philosophy, its main idea is that gays have weakened Europe, and yet the dupes still come. The most prominent intellectual apologist for Putin is Stephen F. Cohen, Princeton professor, Russologist for the left-wing nation. Cohen is a septuagenarian, old-school...
Yeah. AdamSomething, when people can have different opinions than him, and can indeed come from different background than him. Like some random, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. Like, people can come from different backgrounds, different, and have different opinions, yeah, they may be different, and yeah, they may be right. No way! Such huge discovery! Such insane claims, like such insane new things. Wow!
who has carried on the mental habits of decades of anti-communism seamlessly into a new career of anti-Putinism. The Cohen method is to pick away at every indictment
No
of the Russian regime
sources.
without directly associating himself with its various atrocities. Is Putin persecuting gays? Well, Cohen wants you to know that various Ukrainian nationalists dislike gays too, and also Barack
No
Obama's claim to...
way! You actually need, like, he's actually presenting a, a somewhat balanced worldview. Not everyone that you support is perfect. Yeah. Um, I don't know, like, it will be bad if, like, he said that if he denied that and tell told the other thing, but I don't think he did. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I don't know, like, maybe. Extremely suspicious, honestly, just that.
snub Sochi because of gay rights is probably not on the level. Is Putin bullying and killing journalists? Says Cohen. Every time a journalist breaks a leg, they say the Kremlin did it. Accidents happen. So Stephen F. Cohen was your average Kremlin stooge with significant ties to Russian state propaganda, and he said that the Maidan shootings were almost certainly done by Ukrainian Nazis.
Yeah, indeed, people can come from different backgrounds than you. I could, for example, um, yeah, for example, like, try to debunk you since you're, like, I don't know, maybe from Hungary, like, with an extremely horrible far-right president. I don't know, like, something like that, I could say. And yeah, he's giving you far too many, like, far too much shit, to, like, yeah, to be propagandized and programmed with. But yeah, again, people can come from different backgrounds, and yeah, indeed, also, I mean, yeah, it is not a good sign that you're we, like, yeah, that you have ties to Russia, but still, that does not immediately debunk your argument. That is literally not only, like, yeah, they are wrong because they are against my beliefs, which are absolutely right. They gives me those vibes, and It is simply not how it works. I don't know.
The Kremlin Institute doesn't mention Cohen's name or background in their video, they just throw out that screenshot and read out half a sentence. I suppose they really wanted to de-emphasize Cohen here. If they wanted to be unbiased, they could have said, Stephen Cohen, pro-Russian academic and...
Alright, let's keep this from like in your head, please.
Frequent guest on RT alleges that the sniper attacks were done
That he wants people to like to like be unbiased.
by Ukrainian neo-fascists, but instead we get a fleeting mention of a wild claim in an article without.
When again, he only wants people to be unbiased when they are against your opinions, like when they are against his opinions, basically. Like it is extremely obvious with this video, and you'll see later on like even worse examples of that.
Sources. And the problem with this is that there can be plenty of allegations made about everything. There are allegations that George Bush did 9/11. There are allegations about a ring of Democrat-linked satanic pedophile cabal operating out of a pizzeria in Washington. There are allegations about George Soros.
Those are actually insane, like claims.
There are
yeah, indeed. Both sides badism. Like, what do you mean? Like, literally things that I don't know, like thinking that thinking racist, like far right, reactionary, like actually brain dead conspiracy theories is like exactly the same as believing a person that is likely to have done a crime actually committed the crime. Those are not the same things. Those are different things, and you are equating like apples to oranges again. No.
allegations is the rallying cry of conspiracy theorists and the euphemism for I have no evidence. But to go back to the Liberal Institute's points, they even managed to contradict themselves. On one hand, the far-right people were hijacking the movement, meaning they were taking over. On the other hand, they were only a small but influential group with a dozen of them marching around at a time, and they merely helped exacerbate protests by encouraging violence and extreme rhetoric, meaning they
keyword influential. Indeed, like small groups can be influential. Like I don't know why it does. Yeah. Like yeah, he's trying to like actually compare like apples to oranges right here. It is failing.
and their saber rattling inspired more violence here. So which is it then? Did they hijack the protests, or were they just a loud minority who said mean things and got into more scuffles? Why?
Mostly the second, basically, and yeah, a loud minority that started becoming far too popular. And
Are you putting these mostly neutral?
by the way, this is still not any justification for like what Russia did, like so much for like denazification by Russia, but they also like made many terrible things, and like I don't know, such as bombing like an anti-Holocaust thing and stuff like that. This video I am not telling you to basically go to go suck Patin's cock, basically. I'm not telling you to go to do that. I'm just telling you to have a decent, like not absolutely insane beliefs about this war,
Statements in such a leading context, Liberal Institute, in a way that all
this
tankies and
capitalist imperialist
from what you're
war.
saying, well, you can still claim plausible deniability.
By early 2014, the government lost the ability to control the protests. In a rapidly evolving political crisis, President Yanukovych has been voted out by parliament, forced to leave Kiev. And the US recognized interim government that replaced him had a significant far-right faction. The deputy prime minister, the Minister of Defense, and others were all from that far-right party, Svoboda.
So the interim government had a significant far-right faction, and 4 ministers came from the far-right Svoboda party. This is true, however, Kremlin Institute is conveniently leaving out a number of relevant things here. The 4 people on the picture are Alexander Sich, Igor Tanyuk, Andriy Mokhnik, and Ihor Shvaika, and there are a couple of things to mention here. First, as Kremlin Institute says, they were only part of the interim government. That means they were all gone by the 12th of November 2014, except for Ihor Tanyuk, who left much earlier, having spent a grand total of 26 days in his position. Also, Alexander Sich was one of 3 deputy prime ministers, with the other 2 not being from Svoboda. Second, none of these people were succeeded by other Svoboda politicians. Third, on the elections in October 2014, the Svoboda party had lost 31 seats out of their original 37, having gotten only 4.71% of the national vote. The right sector also ran and won a single seat with 1.8% of the national vote. So if Kremlin Institute wanted to be honest here, they could have said something like this. The far right had a presence within the interim government, having achieved 4 ministerial positions from March till November 2014, except for the defense minister, who was removed after less than a month. They weren't succeeded by other far right politicians, however, and Svoboda lost the majority of its seats during the October election, while the right sector only won a single seat. It doesn't sound so scary or dramatic when you put it that way, does it? But
No, you have to like use my extremely bias towards like Russia, like extremely, yeah, like literally Western propaganda. Um, yeah, like I'm not trying to sell you like, yeah, the idea that Russia is perfect or anything, or that yeah they don't push propaganda themselves, because I know that's stupid and I know that's wrong. But you also need to quit that bullshit off, maybe. Yeah.
again, the goal of Kremlin Institute here is not to tell you what happened, but to push a
Um.
specific pro-Russian narrative. In their world, the interim government was full of
Yeah, literally not like telling your exact same like extremely pro-Ukrainian narrative, like to the point it's you're absolutely blind in order to like support them. It's literally being pro-Russian. Yeah, so bro, sure.
Nazis.
And this led to backlash in the East, because Eastern Ukrainians were horrified at what they saw as a far-right seizure of power, with veneration of Bandera and elimination of equal recognition for languages like Russian.
Service industry workers have since January been obliged to talk to customers in Ukrainian unless clients specifically ask to switch.
If I work, pay my employees' salaries and my taxes, it's none of your bloody business which language I do it in.
And here I want to briefly consider manipulation through word choice. The US recognized interim government was full of far-right people. The Easterners were horrified at what they saw was a far-right seizure of power. The elimination of Russian as an equal language. The use of emotional, loaded language serves to feed into the overrushing narrative that the evil US is funding evil Ukrainian Nazis, and the poor Russian-speaking Ukrainians are very scared. Funny enough, this rhetorical trick is once again familiar to me from channels like PragerU.
This is the
Both sides by this
reality that police commanders in urban areas face every day. And every day they get calls from law-abiding citizens in high-crime neighborhoods begging for assistance.
Kremlin Institute also
like this is simply this is simply like neoliberal shit, like just random bullshit from my youth, like I don't know, maybe indeed, like literally Joe Biden has like a more balanced worldview about you than in Ukraine than you, like it is insane, like at least he didn't like literally. Alright, I'm going to search the community post. I swear it was like around here. A few months back, I think. Yeah, going to try to find it. Damn, this dude like post like absolutely every second, basically. Holy shit. No, that's not this one. Even previously. Holy shit. But I am quite sure it's here. Like, I don't think he has deleted it. I 99% sure it isn't. Like, please. It was like, yeah, 3 or 4 months back, I think, at best. But yeah, I don't think he has deleted it. There, it must be here. I could change it to vertical so I can scroll faster and watch better. But indeed, there's a lot of bullshit here, by the way. Oh shit, no. Indeed. Okay, it indeed got deleted. Let's fucking go. He also had like many terrible posts. Yeah, I'm going to try to link them, like all of them, all of those I can, which were debunked by Bad Empanada before, yeah, they were deleted. They were probably removed, like, considering, like, how much bullshit he's, like, into, yeah, I don't think he will delete them by himself.
Calls from law-abiding citizens in high-crime neighborhoods.
I mean, where
for
we?
assistance.
Oh, yeah.
Russia tends to actively use the Russian language as a geopolitical weapon. Russian speakers to Russia is like oil to America. If you have too much of it, sooner or later their army shows up on your borders to liberate your country. Also, I love how they put this to...
No, Russia being in Ukraine is literally imperialism. Sort of gives me like extremely yeah, extremely suspicious vibes of like, yeah, of like wanting like, yeah, like, I don't know, dude, like, but that seems extremely suspicious to like, yeah, like not wanting, like, yeah, literally saying that yeah, like having Russian people your on your country is bad, and I don't know, maybe I don't know, man. Yeah, sounds kind of racist. Yeah, I'm just going to use that word. I don't know.
The government was usurped by evil anti-Russian Nazis, it is implied, who have instituted the draconian measure of service workers in Ukraine having to engage customers in Ukrainian unless the customer asks for Russian, in which case it's fine. Okay, but in the next segment they go even further, in the form of trivializing actual Russian imperialism through euphemisms.
Anti-government protests broke out across the east. In the eastern peninsula of Crimea, people were furious. Many of them talked about joining Russia.
They
So the Russian
did.
government saw an opportunity. They wanted to encourage a surge of Russian
A lot
nationalism for its
did.
own benefit. So Russia annexed Crimea and held a disputed referendum
They
to legitimize the
did.
decision.
The Russian government wanted to encourage a surge of Russian nationalism for their own benefit, so Russia annexed Crimea and held a disputed referendum to legitimize the decision.
It was indeed disputed. Like, that is what you're unbiased. Like, that is what you may. Yeah. That should be uncontroversial, honestly. Like, just saying it's disputed because it was. Yeah. Yeah, turns out like. Yeah, it's insane, honestly. He basically asked, like, for you to, like, be more unbiased, and then when you, like, use more unbiased terminology, like, he literally goes on to, like, tell you to, like, be more unbiased, like, to the point where you're basically just, like, yeah, agreeing with him, and later, like, giving his argument.
At least they used the word annexed there, so it's only 99% reprehensible. But hey, if that's the game we're playing, let's roll. Nazi Germany wanted to encourage a surge of German nationalism for their own benefit, so they annexed the Sudetenland and held a disputed referendum to legitimize the decision. I'm surprised the Kremlin Institute tried to trick.
They did. And also, yeah, like,
Realize Russian imperialism so open.
again, like, many things just, yeah, again, apples and oranges, like, again, literally comparing, like, Russia to Nazi Germany. The Russian government is extremely shit, that is true, but, yeah, you know, that is a bit of a stretch indeed.
It's almost like they and their audience Ukrainians only have a problem with imperialism when it's the US doing it.
Oh, and also you only have a problem with imperialism as long as Russia does it. Like, if this is your reaction to Ukraine, I wish like you also are with this reaction like about Haiti. Like, imagine like literal hundreds of videos about Haiti. Like, no, but obviously no, because basically your alpha and omega of your worldview that you exactly blame like the others for is US good. Anyone that says Russia's bad is bad. Yeah, this is like, I mean like everyone that says that US bad is bad. Sorry, like I have everything mixed up already. These videos are like extremely long to respond.
As many as 95.5% of the electorate in Crimea have voted to join Russia. We are going back home. Crimea is in Russia.
By the way, this 95.5% result is bullshit. We know this because, as I mentioned in my original
It probably is, but
posted the real results. According to them, the real result was about 50 to 60% voting for joining Russia.
that is still indeed a majority.
A turnout of about 40%. In a referendum on the Russian
Also a turnout of 40%. Also yeah, by Forbes. Yeah, also imagine if like like yeah, I started like sourcing like literally RT basically. Yeah, I will not do that because yeah, I know they are biased to shit. So why are you doing this? Yeah. Um to be fair, yeah, like yeah, like I don't have anything to say really. Um that is not the best yeah, like source ever, I guess.
occupation, where the two choices were yes
I
and yes, but later.
I will probably have a yeah, I will treat that with skepticism. Oh, and also how is literally just wanting to be independent, like just but later. Oh no, you want to be independent. That is literally being annexed to Russia. Like, actually, that is absolutely literally the same. No way there can be any difference, except maybe like that the fact that you're independent. Yeah. Yeah. Like, like. Oh, and also, that can also probably be responded to the fact that maybe it was just out of the table. Like most people actually wanted to yeah, get the fuck out of Ukraine. So that was not an option. Um, like for example, like yeah, sort of like the second round of elections, like where most of the candidates have been removed that yeah didn't get quite enough votes, and yeah, like just the two most yeah voted candidates like run. Yeah, basically just that, I guess. And then let's like try to like yeah find non-insane ways to you know
And where the choice of remaining part of Ukraine was not on the ballot. The Kremlin Institute doesn't mention any
because it wasn't popular maybe.
lies, falsifications, and fraud committed by Russia, and stuffing it under the phrase disputed beforehand.
It was disputed indeed.
Russian arms and military personnel, the anti-government protests became a full-blown secessionist movement. Eastern provinces like Donetsk and
Indeed.
Luhansk held separatist referendums and declared independence.
Indeed they
The
did.
government branded these rebellions as quote terrorist actions. Ukraine entered a civil war, which was also a
Indeed
proxy war for Russia.
quote.
Okay, so anti-government protests became secession movements after they were energized by the annexation of Crimea and were supported by the Russian military. Glad they admit that at least. Then Donetsk and Luhansk held referendums, declared independence, and the new Ukrainian government declared these quote-unquote terrorist actions. And so, two things.
that is what actually being unbiased is. Yeah, like so much for being so much for like declaring like not being biased, like, but yeah, still like obviously AdamSomething made it quite clear that he cannot accept anything except for the absolute apology of Ukraine.
It was, by definition, terrorist action, whether or not you consider it war. Number two, and this is very much a recurring theme now, Rebel Institute left out an important detail, namely that at the time of the independence referendum,
Quite sure that that isn't the definition.
makes it sound like what happened after the referendums. So no wonder the Ukrainian government ranks these as terrorist actions. They were fighting a war with them at that point. Now you might think I'm picking at minor points here, but consider the overall picture they're painting. If someone unfamiliar with recent Ukrainian history watches this,
Also, no sources.
Ukraine collapsed in the 90s and became a shithole country. This caused a far-right resurgence in the West, and the pro-Russian
True.
people in the East were afraid of this.
True.
The far-right hijacked the protests against the somewhat pro-Russian president
True.
and murdered dozens of protesters. After people chased away the president, the new government had a significant
True.
neo-Nazi presence.
True.
People in the East were afraid of this, so after Russia took Crimea, they declared independence, which began a civil war, with the Ukrainian
True.
government branding them as terrorists.
That is somewhat true, but many of these points have been exaggerated a bit by AdamSomething, but yeah, like, yeah, slightly yeah, I somewhat agree with that. This is somewhat of what happened, but yeah, it indeed seems to be a bit exaggerated.
And would you look at that? We have arrived at official Russian state propaganda. This is the narrative Russia Today tries to sell people in the West. And even though Rebel Institute does say that the Russian military is involved, they present this in a context
Like to exactly yeah, to portray the TGA as like far more radical, like far more pro-Russian than what they actually are.
that makes their involvement arguably justified. You know, Russia might have involved its military in Ukraine, but they're supporting Russian-speaking people who were horrified at what they saw as a far-right seizure of power, so of course the Russians would help them militarily. This is apology.
That is not what they wanted to do. Like, this is simply that is simply countering like what like most of the what the US media told you to believe, which is like, yeah, also Ukraine apologia. Yeah, remember that, yeah, this like TGI is an American channel.
It's also a lie, as we've discussed.
But after decades of austerity and corruption,
Sure,
the Ukrainian
bro.
army was totally unable to
Sure.
fight. So a lot of the action
It
fell instead to the
was.
people who were the most violent, the
They
ultranationalists.
were.
So a new paramilitary emerged. It was called the Azov Battalion. And unlike
It
the official Ukrainian
was.
military, Azov's volunteers were willing to go the distance. But Azov wasn't just any random organization. It was a pretty disturbing
Indeed.
far-right group. It had come out of neo-Nazi street gangs that had been used as muscle by Ukrainian elites in the 90s and 2000s. Azov members regularly sported tattoos of
Indeed.
swastikas. Their symbol was based on a Nazi emblem.
Yeah.
Their leader declared that their mission was to, quote, lead the white races of the world in a final crusade against the
True.
subhumans. But Azov's neo-Nazism turned out not to be such a huge concern to the Ukrainian government. Because in 2014, a guy named Arsen Avakov became interior minister in charge of police and security. And Avakov had been a long-time patron of the neo-Nazi gangs. And when he was a regional governor,
Indeed.
he used them as enforcers. So when he became interior minister, Avakov had the Azov Battalion incorporated into Ukraine's National Guard.
So the Ukrainian military was in shambles as a war was going on in the east, fueled by Russia. In response, the Ukrainian
It
government
was.
turned to nationalists to help beat back the enemy. Then the Minister of Interior made the Azov Battalion officially part of the National Guard. And my question here is, what else was the Ukrainian government was supposed to do? The country was...
Let's fucking go, he said it. Okay, there may be Nazis in the Ukrainian military, but actually it is super based. It is like, it is justified. Like, how could someone ever like do anything like not avoid that. How could someone ever avoid like literally hiring like neo-Nazi? This is literally the sort of bullshit that he's trying to pull on us. Luckily it doesn't work for me, but it surely like worked for a lot of people. He has almost 1 million subscribers now. I'm going to like legitimately like, yeah. Let's continue.
Separatists were spreading westward.
That part is insane. That part is a full-on mask-off.
Ultranationalists with weapons training, whose entire worldview is predicated on fighting Russian invaders and whose allegiance is unquestionably with Ukraine. And they tell you, give us weapons and support and we'll get shit done. What decision maker would say no to that, even if you...
No. Again. Again, indeed, like... This is such bullshit, man. This is like... Literally, like, Nazi apology right here. Like, not trying to, like... Yeah. I barely even had to, like... Yeah, you know, like... Yeah, to use even... Like, it is barely, like... It is just, like, extremely obvious that he literally just said to you, um, if you need to you may count on Nazi street gangs to support your nation. They may be literally Nazis, but look at these Russians, like there's no way they are literally worse than Nazis. Like, I mean, because like literally supporting them, yeah, you know, basically implies that, by the way, yeah, just
hate the foreign leaders, but sending them to war mean many of them would die. It would be a win-win, right? You help halt the Russian offensives, and you end up with less ultranationalists in the end. And the reason why they got integrated into the National Guard is because they did get the job done. They were effective, had high morale, and could be trusted to not switch sides. At the end of the day, the Azov battalions' rise to prominence could have...
alright, literally, I should probably also make the title of this video AdamSomething sees the positives of hiring Nazis into the military.
been avoided if Russia didn't invade Ukraine in 2014 and 2022. It seems like this would be the quick and easy solution to Ukraine's supposed Nazi problem. If we can agree that groups like ISIS or the Taliban rose to prominence due to Western meddling, why can't we then say that groups like Azov did so due to Russian meddling? Driven institutions.
They did because of yeah, indeed, because of Western meddling, but yeah, still, apples and oranges, like literally, Ukraine and Afghanistan are completely different countries in completely different continents, in completely different like with completely different like histories and completely different backgrounds and completely different like quite literally everything. Yeah, it is like such massive like yeah, it is such yeah, it is just insane the fact that he's literally trying to justify that, like literally trying to make that point.
That's the next section of the video describing how US military systems ended up in the hands of Azov fighters. Once again, it's somewhat by contrast with the original title of the video, which suggests a direct and deliberate effort from the US's part. Or does it? Turns out, as I was making this video, they changed the title from How America Funded
They
Ukraine's
did.
Nazis to America, Russia, and Ukraine's Far Right. And they even had to edit their description, saying, this video is about American funding for the Azov Battalion. It explicitly condemns Russian propaganda that Ukraine is a neo-Nazi country, quote unquote. We stand strongly against Russia's invasion, and will be publishing a video about the Russian oligarchy and the rise of Putin.
That is indeed a good thing. I indeed agree with that. I am indeed okay with that. I indeed like support what the description of the video says. Yeah, still, yeah, I guess that's kind of subjective, but still, um, you know, um, let's see what he does to, debunk this. Oh shit. Again.
Say they condemn Russian propaganda that Ukraine is a neo-Nazi country, After having spent nearly 10 minutes priming you for that exact conclusion, they
Um, and the video is like they are specifically going to make a video about that. I don't know, man. Maybe they want to like make the thing in two parts. By the way, that video still didn't came out. I think. I don't know. I haven't seen them for a while. But I'm cool. But if they didn't, yeah, they're probably waiting for something like maybe they're waiting for the end of the Ukraine war. Actually, I don't know. Maybe. But still.
say
Ukraine is still mired in a war on its territory, and the Russian government likes to use Ukrainian nationalists in its propaganda, part of its practice of painting all Ukrainians as Nazis. Of course, those claims aren't really true,
but then they spend the rest of the video telling you how it actually is true.
but Ukraine still does have a serious and militarized neo-Nazi problem. So since the 2014 uprising, Ukraine's far right has become increasingly powerful. Azov veterans have been given high positions in the security services. The new
Indeed, you can like actually agree with that, but not use it to support like an imperialist war and an imperialist invasion, and binary, like it is not a binary. The world isn't like just either you support Ukraine or you support Russia. You can like just to maybe mix those things, or like maybe like support certain thing from both sides. I don't know, maybe yeah, this is obviously like not what AdamSomething tries to tell you, because then it will be harder for you to um to to agree on this bullshit.
Ukrainian government even made it a criminal offense to deny Bandera's heroism. And in 2021, the United States and Ukraine were the only two countries to vote against a UN resolution condemning the glorification of Nazism. A climate of impunity has developed around far-right violence. Attacks against Roma and gay people go unpunished. A 2018 report found that Ukraine had more incidents of anti-Semitic hate crimes than all other post-Soviet republics combined.
The last article they show there is particularly interesting. Report: Ukraine had more anti-Semitic incidents than all former Soviet countries combined, on the Jewish Telegraphic Agency. This report comes from the Israeli Ministry for Diaspora Affairs. A striking exception in the trend of decrease in anti-Semitic incidents in Eastern Europe was Ukraine, where the number of recorded anti-Semitic attacks was doubled from last year and surpassed the tally for all the incidents reported throughout the entire region combined, the report said. So that sounds rather alarming. However, further in the article you'll find this bit. In an article published Saturday on Radio Liberty, a Ukrainian state historian dismissed the Israeli report as anti-Ukrainian propaganda, and a researcher of anti-Semitism from Ukraine said the Israeli report was flawed and amateurish. The researcher, Vyacheslav Likachev, who is affiliated with the VAD Association of Jewish Communities and Organizations of Ukraine, suggested in the article that the report's authors merely summed up the incidents they found reported online in a, quote, blatant lack of professionalism and violation of all standards of hate crime documentation, which are guided by professional monitoring groups both in Ukraine and in the world, end of quote. Krevel Institute, of course, never mentioned this bit, but
I don't know, man.
here, I also found this article on the Jerusalem Post.
Maybe because it's like a 2-minute video. You could say that TJ should have made a longer video, but that is completely missing the point. Like it won't really fit into the video. Like there isn't any parts where it will be you will be able to plug in that. Really, it is not related honestly to like that many parts of the video, and like going from like that part where he cited that, where they cited that source, it will be far too much off topic. The point is, the point is different. The point is that um Ukraine has many far righters,
Boris Loshkin, Ukraine's least anti-Semitic country in Central Europe. In addition to serving as president of the Jewish Confederation of Ukraine, Loshkin is also a vice president of the World Jewish Congress and the Eurasian Jewish Congress and works intensively with the European Jewish community. Loshkin says that today, Ukraine is regarded as the least anti-Semitic country in Central Europe and is a much more open and accepting society. The relationship between Jews and Ukrainians is very tolerant, and it is a safe country for Jews, he says. The Ukrainian Jewish community is very active. There are many Jewish organizations, both religious and non-religious. There are Jewish centers, Jewish schools, and kosher restaurants. And now there are even battle rabbis fighting the Russians, I might add. The Pew Research Center actually did a survey in Eastern Europe asking respondents if they would not be willing to accept Jews as citizens of their country. Only 5% of Ukrainians agreed with this, making them the most tolerant country in the area. In contrast, 14% of Russians wouldn't accept Jews as Russian citizens. So there you have it. Ukraine is not exactly an anti-Semitic hellhole as the Gravel Institute or the Russian government would want you to think, but it's
maybe, but still, um, yeah, it is similar to like 1350. I win argument. Turns out, stats and yeah, like yeah, statistics can be fake and can be misrepresented, and yeah, many of many of those things, and also they can be like straight up made up, like well, literally 99% of Prager use graphs, which is luckily something that DJI fixes, but still.
not a coincidence that the denazification of Ukraine was the primary excuse for Russia's invasion. That's the reason why Gravel Institute had to edit the video's title, by the way, to not make it too obvious.
They edited it because of people like you that like were against like anything leftist that like didn't 100% fully support Ukraine. So they have to slightly to slightly change the title in order to to be a slightly more neutral. Luckily, or at least like not so luckily, that didn't work, and you and your shit brigade decided to still did this video, and it deleted it now deleted. I don't know when it will be put again.
That they're shamelessly peddling Russian state propaganda, while at the same time insisting that they don't. In the comment section, a user even pointed out the glaring contradiction in their video. The explanation of the East-West split is useful, but it seems odd to talk about Ukraine's far right without also talking about Russia's far right. The Russians aren't the defenders of leftist rebels, they are the gangster capitalists mentioned earlier in the videos. There's arguments to be had about whether arming the Ukrainians is the correct approach to this situation, but the framing of the arguments in this video makes it seem like the Russians are justified in supporting rebels, which is strange, considering the main pillar of this video is about how America is not justified in its support. And Gravel Institute actually responded to this, saying, "That's very true. We focus on US stuff just because we're based in the US, but we obviously don't support Russian aggression and imperialism in Ukraine. We'll do a video about Yanukovych, the Donetsk clan, and gangster capitalism, if metal comes to mind, in the future too."
Exactly. They are based in the US. Like that is why many of the things that they say are in a more US language. Indeed.
They obviously don't support Russian aggression and imperialism in Ukraine, they say, under their video justifying Ukrainian aggression and imperialism in Ukraine. And their Twitter record is similarly checkered. On the
No, how can you like pinpoint that like Russian propagandists maybe like 20% like can maybe like only 75% wrong. No way. Literally 1948.
The 2nd of February, 2 days before the Russian invasion, they tweeted, "Two things can be true at once. 1. Russian aggression in Ukraine is absolutely unjustified and should be condemned. 2. American and NATO involvement has only made the situation worse."
Exactly. Like, you have no idea. You have like literally no idea how much people like as of something and like Bosch or like those sorts of people like need to hear this. It is not a binary. There's like a lot of rage,
So once again trying to both sides their way out of the situation. A local domestic serial abuser is threatening to kill one of his ex-girlfriends and loiters around her house with a shotgun, and then Gravel Institute comes along and points out how what he's doing is unjustified and should be condemned, but also how the local
Opposite more unjust politics isn't that easy.
safe because of them. And then when the Russian invasion began, Gravel Institute tweeted the following: "The heroic efforts of anti-war protesters in Russia deserve the unconditional support of the international left."
That
So,
is
what
true. They deserve the anti-war Russians deserve condition extreme support from the left, the same way that many Americans that protested against the Iraq war, needed to were a heroic and being against it. They should be supported from the left. I mean, as I said, obviously, if he was in the same position on Iraq, he would be literally just 24/7, just spotting. No, you see, this war is to exterminate a dictator, totally not just to get oil money and oil profit for your companies.
Russians and Ukrainians do not want war. Putin's invasion is an evil act that will destroy the lives of innocent Ukrainians, will plunge Russia into economic desperation, and will bring the world closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation.
Exactly. It is literally just the top ranks of both sides that won this war. Indeed, this deserves its own video, but it does. That is indeed true.
So that's nice. At least they're admitting that the invasion is bad, unlike a lot of their followers underneath their tweets. However, there's also this tweet from the 16th of February. Remember a few days ago when the media said that Russia was going to invade Ukraine today? Whatever happened to that? I won't.
That day is poorly, but I will not find that as somewhat exactly an exact point that haha TGI debunked, TGI absolutely destroyed because they did not know when were an army going to invade a country, which is a thing that, for example, in Haiti, we do not know exactly. I don't know. Maybe in 3 months, it will I will be judged for that. But it is real. It is indeed hard to know. That turned out that didn't age well, but I won't call that exact evidence.
Find this tweet on their page anymore because they deleted it, but people took screenshots, so we get to enjoy it even now. So up until the invasion, Gravel Institute toed the line that Russia invading Ukraine is Western propaganda, and then they had to backtrack like crazy, deleting tweets, changing the title of their video.
Alright, I need a strawman counter in this one, for real, it will easily be a 10 or 15 around there, in this video alone. They did never say that, literally, they never literally said that, Russia invading Ukraine is Western propaganda. They literally never claimed that. I guess you're fucking blind then. This is not proof of that, and I guess this is by far probably the worst strawman in this entire video yet.
Adding the following to the description, and this is once again under a video spreading Russian propaganda that Ukraine is a neo-Nazi country, as Gravel Institute denied on both sides of the invasion front. So once again, which is it, Gravel Institute?
Both sides, indeed.
Because people will call you out on it, like I just did, instead of edited titles.
No, indeed. Because you and your shade brigade will immediately start brigading, absolutely make the comment section a hellfire, which it indeed was, if I remember correctly from the video, for a day or two, before it got deleted, and this is insane.
And clarifications, I would recommend deleting this video altogether to find a behemoth
Yes. I mean, yeah, I can also tell you to like, yeah, delete this video also to at least if you're Adam something, I will recommend you to delete this video as it also has like extreme failures. Like I would like I swear to you, I will like immediately go clip on the part of where you literally said that yeah, having Nazis on your army is justified just to like combat against yeah, just to fight against Russians. And yeah, when it gets like yeah, media like internet support, this video will be absolutely fucked, probably. Or at least you will get your yeah, you will be quite unpopular, like similar to Bosch. I really need to like spread this since yeah, you're like nowhere any better than Bosch, and yeah, I will also make a video about him. What can you personally do about this video? One, go and dislike it, and preferably yeah, just copy paste the link of this video there. That will help you. That will help me quite a lot, and that will help like yeah, like just debunking this propaganda quite a lot. Indeed. Nothing else really. Yeah. Going any extra like yeah, I will not do that, but yeah, like for example, yeah, please do not like personally start like I don't know, like trying to get AdamSomething's IP address or something like that, please. I just want to yeah, like call this out. So yeah, let's see the rest of the video.
Prager with huge ad budgets and millions of subscribers, you cannot really have content like this published, especially now, when it puts you in league with some of the most reprehensible people out there. You won't be bringing anyone over to the left with such content. In fact, you might actively scare people away from leftism with this. Drivel Institute also never talked about.
Wow, yeah, you really did, honestly, like, so many people have been, yeah, um, there's so many people that will be supporting, like, the actual left from, like, now, if it wasn't for you and your mom, and your shit mom, man, that, yeah, like, of this, yeah, progressive neoliberalism bullshit, and yeah, like, so many things I could say, so many. It is hard to understand like the absolute amount of things that people like you have done, and yeah.
The fact that the pro-Russian party in Ukraine has had far larger support than the far right, and how the latter only won a single seat in the 2019 elections. Inconvenient details, I suppose. As an aside, one of the chairmen of the pro-Russian party in Ukraine is Viktor Medvedchuk, Vladimir Putin's close confidant, who mysteriously disappeared from the country at the start of the Russian invasion in February 2022. While he was supposed to be in house arrest, by the way, on corruption charges, when Ukrainian authorities showed up to his palace, because of course he has one, they didn't find Medvedchuk, but they did find an exact replica of a luxury Pullman dining car, custom built on site from scratch, with even a little platform.
That is a bad
the car features copious amounts of
thing.
luxury, including a golden tea heater, a gilded toilet complete with a golden butt rinsing shower, and otherwise all the expensive decorational items you can physically cram inside that space. The Ukrainian Railways wants to nationalize the car, by the way, which I hope happens. It'll be the second largest loss for Medvedchuk after his yacht, because of course he has one, Royal Romance, was seized by Croatian authorities on the 16th of March. And this seems to be a recurring theme with pro-Russian politicians, doesn't it? Super yachts, gigantic palaces, ludicrous luxury. The main difference between Russia and Ukraine is that in Ukraine, these tend to get seized by the democratic government elected by the people. They also seized Yanukovych's palace after the Maidan and turned it into the Museum of Corruption, for example. You would think supposed leftists would be in support of a country where such things happen regularly, but they aren't, because supporting Ukraine would mean indirectly supporting the US, and they can't do that because US bad.
Oh, also, yeah. What about maybe not supporting like maybe just reducing your Ukraine support to the Ukrainian people and expanding your support to those Russian people that are being absolutely fucked by sanctions, so that because of a thing they did not commit, seriously, like, that is such a strong thing to say, honestly, like, that needs to be said, um, because it is indeed, like, um, yeah, indeed contradictory that many people go claim that Russia's government is undemocratic, which, by the way, it is, but then they also blame, yeah, the ordinary Russian people for it, which is, yeah, like, if you're living a dictatorship, you really don't have that much say in your government. It was not a popular decision. It was like a decision made by some random clan on Moscow. So yeah, that is your main takeaway. Um, don't support the top ranks of both nations. Support the proletariat of both nations. And yeah, like, stop fucking.